So if you don't care for spoilers, I'm gonna geek out about it for like 5 seconds. Because I think they're really good. Is Guile in it? Oh, most certainly. Let me show you. Boom. Oops. I meant to crop that part too. Okay. Let me also take myself and move myself over here for a second. In what is now the best stream layout known to man. He's over here. And he looks really good. I like the new updated look for Guile. Let's see if I can zoom in. I don't have any of the, unfortunately, none of the, there's some like higher res ones that came out as well that I couldn't find, but the design itself is really good. I like it quite a bit. It's updated. It still feels like Guile. It's a little bit more stylish, and like that's kind of like the whole point, right? The whole point is that the game is supposed to be way more towards like this graffiti street, like streetwear aesthetic to the game. So like, you know, like I'm a big fan. That's kind of what I wanted. Also, I originally said I wasn't a really big fan of Chun-Li's design, but it might just be the art, but I kind of like it way more when it's like this. I don't know why, but like when I was looking at it in the picture, in the trailer, it didn't really feel like it was like very street. So I was like, oh man, this kind of sucks. And then now when I look at it like at full, like at its full picture in art, I kind of like it way more. Like it's like it feels really. It's still very much how to say, it's still very much inspired by traditional Chinese like garb, right? But it feels very functional. So it's like it feels like that the design itself is at least is going towards making it a little bit more like everyday weary sort of thing. Hey Donda, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. I'm just thought, if you didn't know, like there was like a bunch of leaks for Street Fighter 6's costumes, and it's probably the best thing that happened out of the Street Fighter announcement stuff because it looks really good. I'm a big fan. This is the thing that got me the most excited about the game so far. Mechanics and stuff, whatever, like the mechanics look and sound neat. They have the ability to like have a lot of really interesting play around them, but execution's everything. So we'll see, you know, there's no reason to talk about it until we get like gameplay footage. Even Blanca got a minor update, which I think is nice. He gets a little armband. Yeah, see, I expected something like that too. And in fact, the bigger the bigger issue is that Chun-Li has her old costume, right? I say issue, but oops. The bigger thing is that she has this other like. Hold on, let me pull it up. I don't know if I can find good art for it, but this is the official like Alpha 2 art. She has her old Alpha 2, and this design has inspired streetwear. Like backwards, like this design has made it into streetwear that is being worn by people. Like this is an iconic look for the character. So it feels very weird that like they didn't like I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's like you're kind of happy that they didn't just rehash it and they tried to go for something new, but it's okay. I'm a big fan of the Chun-Li look now, way more than I was when I first looked at it in game, because it just feels. And the second thing is that both Ryu and everybody looks older, so this might just be her. Like there might be a good story reason on why she's dressed like this, as opposed to everybody else who seems to be dressed way more street inspired. At least a lot of the World Warriors tend to look like they don't have huge differences, except for Ken, who looks like a bum. But like Zangief just looks like slightly updated. Dulcim looks like slightly updated. Honda's looks great. I'm a big fan of Honda's. But yeah, I can see your point, Barry, for sure. So, I mean, I would have preferred a little bit more of a functional street fit, but like I think I'm liking it way more than I did when I first looked at it. Okay, and then a lot of the other these, like there's way better looks at these. The cami one's so good. This is like the perfect update to this character's look. The crop top jacket and the short hair is like such a change. The cami one rules. And what's the cooler part is that generally speaking, this character has a green motif to the character, right? For the last 2 or 3 games, she's had the green Killer Bee look. But now she has her old costume, or she has her old look from well, not old look. She's based off of her colors that she had for one of her older designs. I can't find anything official right now super easily, and I'm not gonna keep everybody here for a decade. This one, it's taking more of like these colors towards the design rather than her traditional like green, which she got, I think, more famous for. So that's nice. I like the blue on her. Yeah, the sports top looks nice. The crop top jacket, I'm a huge fan of. She's a big fan of like the cami update in general. DJ's also looks really good. DJ hasn't really had, like, since he kind of was overlooked in 4 and didn't see 5, this character kind of got overlooked in general, and now like he looks really good. Like, I really like this. I like this look quite a bit for him. Oops. This one, I'm like, this is one of my favorites out of the whole. Actually, this picture has some of my favorites in general. Like, the Rashid one is so good. It's a little bit hoeing it up, but it's okay because it's fighting games, and fighting games generally are recognizing that, like, hey, if you let your characters show a little skin or have them have really cool designs, people are gonna go apeshit over them. And yeah, sexy Rashid, I'm a big fan of. Blue's also my favorite color. Yeah, also, the jury one, oh my god. Oh my god, the jury one's so good. The jury one's so good. You can't see her eye anymore, but it keeps the motif of her having one eye covered, or has some issue with it or something like that. In 4, it wasn't covered, but it was where her what was it called again? So she has like an install mechanic to her because her eye has a Feng Shui engine, which is just basically a fancy way to say that it has like crazy psycho powers. So, and then 5, she got an eye patch to cover her eye, and now in 6 she's gonna have just her hair cover it. So keeping that motif, and then having her old 4 design, but like it's like slightly expanded. I think they kind of realized that her 4 design was quite a bit better than her 5 one. Oh, that's the Shonya Yamashita art. Hold on. Okay. So this was her old 4 look. In 5, she has she's very changed in 5. But this is her old 4 look. And I really liked her 4 look because it went for this like huge on the pants because she's Korean and she does Taekwondo. And then it was pretty like simple up top, but it still had a lot of like art and inspiration to it. And she has like this sort of spider-ish motif to her in terms of her top. And that's really cool. And then, you know, 5 comes around, and I don't think this is a bad design by any means, but I don't think it's as cool. I think it's just okay. I think it removes a lot of the aspects that we thought of the character was cool. Like, how, like, none of this character, like, other than her stance, which I like her stance way more. She has the idle stance is way cool. But it doesn't tell me enough about the character. As opposed to this one definitely shows you that, like, this character is, she has these big baggy pants. She's a, yeah. Yeah, the overall, like, straight latex across the board is, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, right? This one, like, going back to this, way cooler. And having the lines, like, that used to be from her, like, coming from her top out over it, go over, extend her arms and stuff like that. I don't even know how that works functionally, but I don't really care because it looks really cool. That, yes, this design's great. Which are the other ones that I liked? Ed's is way better. Ed's in Street Fighter 5 sucks. It's really boring. And I think that, like, there's a secondary problem of he has an alternate costume that's way better. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's just really boring. It's just bland. And then he has this costume. Yeah, the green, the green is not default. It's white on default, which is, it's like white and blue, like navy blue pants. So it's like, it's way better than this. Is that a crotch zipper? I don't think it's intended to be a crotch zipper, but it might be at this very moment. Yeah, so Ed's is far improved. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. I still think it's kind of bland, but the character looks far better. Akuma's, I don't know how much to say about Akuma's because I think it's just like an iteration of his Street Fighter 5 look, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't, it's cool-ish, but it doesn't like get me excited in the way that some of the other designs do. I probably shouldn't close them. Luke is the last comer to Street Fighter 5, and he's a character for Street Fighter 6. The Street Fighter 5, him coming out in 5 was actually just promo for Street Fighter 6, so that was kind of the why it was that way. He's okay, boring character in my opinion, but it's all right. Marisa here, this is a new character. She's huge. And she has this whole like Roman aesthetic to her. I think for the most part, I'm more excited for how this character is going to play. But I'm really excited to like, because I love like Muay Thai characters, and she looks like she's taking a Muay Thai stance. But she's pretty cool. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of hers. Yeah, the Spartan look overall, like with the gloves having spears on them, having her trunks have the little thing on top of it, sort of indicating that. The hair, yeah, the hair being motif of a helmet. I'm a really big fan of like the whole. It's a package that invokes a certain idea immediately, and I'm kind of a big fan of it in that way. Jamie's is pretty cool. I think the problem I dislike about Jamie's is that like it's not different enough for me, because he's a drunken master. He's a drunken fist master, and while there are some things that make it a little bit more street, like having the top cut out before the waist and having one leg up, like it's still kind of plain for what a drunken fist like fighter is gonna do. However, it's not bad still. It's not bad. All right, and then so this is also a new character. Mimi's also a new character. She looks pretty cool. I don't know how she's gonna fight. She has a lot of the similar look and design feels to a character who is also French. Now I'll just do it like this. This character, Abel. There's a lot of similarities to Mimi and to Abel from Mimi. So I maybe expect her to have some sort of like similar design idea to her, but she's still really cool. Like I really like that I like the hair design for her, and she seems like she's going to be pretty like way more nimble than Abel was as a character. So, you know, I'm open to see where that character goes. But if she does judo, I'm going to be all for it, because that's what Abel did. Abel did judo, but she does, yeah, she looks like she's gonna do kickboxing. But if she does judo, I'm gonna be all for it. I love when the like small petite characters, or characters that are smaller than like what we consider to be oh, you're right, it was Sambo. You're right, it is Sambo. You are right. It is Sambo. If I can get her to do Sambo, that would be sick. For sure. Yeah, that's right. He was the Fedor character. If I can get her to do Sambo, I'll be stoked. I like when you get grapplers that aren't like the big bulky archetype, right? When they're like, usually grapplers are like, you know, sort of like Geef. Geef is a grappler because he's big. Honda grapples because he's big, you know, that sort of thing. If I can get a grappler that isn't just huge, I'll be so happy. I think that's why Shermie is like kind of beloved, because she's not only has like a fun play style, is because she's a grappler and she doesn't look like she's gonna be a grappler. Okay, if we're gonna talk about that, then we're gonna, you know, like half of Street Fighter has been grapplers. Yun is a grappler though. Yun and Yang were definitely the best grapplers in Third Strike, for sure. Okay, and then I think this is the last one. There's Riri. She's going for like a very sort of like Native American traditional Mexican look to her. It's kind of true traditional, but she looks cute. So I'm hoping that her play style is very cool, because other than that, like, it's kind of like she's just cute, and that's about it. JP, like, I have no freaking idea of what this character is doing. He's another Russian character, which is pretty surprising. And then he has this question mark next to him. The only other person that has that is Ed. So there's a characters that have like a couple of double affiliations. I guess we're not sure what this one's gonna be about. So, you know, he looks cool. But I'm not sure exactly, like, you know, how this character gets put together. He looks cool. That's about it. This is the character I think that stood out to me the most. Kimberly. Kimberly looks so freaking cool. Like, I freaking love this design. The crosshatch on both, like, the top of her bottom, like her what's it called? Her sweats or leggings that also match like what are supposed to be kind of like wraps from her sock, and the wraps on her arms as well. Looks really, really good. And then she has like really, really nice, like, colorful look to her the collar part right here, and her hair and her hairband. And it's like very much like African colors, like very bright red, green, yellow African colors. It's just, and then everything else, like every little highlight of this character's design, the blue on the Walkman. I don't know what era this game is supposed to be, but the blue on the Walkman, the blue on her watch, and both her band, her laces match with her hair, the dye on her hair towards the end. This is all so cool. Like, this is easily, like, when I looked at all the characters, this character stood out to most. And I'm excited for an American kickboxing character, which I think is what this character is going to go for. American kickboxing is always so cool in fighting games. It's kind of boring to look at in terms of, like, versus other martial arts. Like, there's a lot of other martial arts I would prefer to watch competitively, but as a playstyle for fighting games, American kickboxing is so cool. So I'm pretty excited for her. And then there's Aki, or AKI, who knows how it's gonna be. There's very much like a sort of like Chinese assassin sort of look to her. There's always one of these characters in Capcom games. There's always this sort of like Eastern assassin look thing, and but she has some pretty cool like design to her. She has the whole like, it looks like it's supposed to be a one-piece dress, but like the pants and the top are separate. I think that's pretty cool, and the hair is very cool. So I mean, I like this one quite a bit. Brian Fury, yeah, like Brian Fury is the best example. Who doesn't get mad hyped watching Brian Fury play? The character is so cool. How would you not get hyped watching Brian Fury? Anyway, thank you for taking this journey with me. This was, I owe you guys 30 minutes of, I owe you guys 30 extra minutes of Enchante, or not Enchante, I owe you 30 extra minutes of Code Realize, but because I just wanted to talk about the designs. Designs are so cool. I'm a big fan. I love Beard Ryu. I think if they didn't learn from Sexy Ryu in Street Fighter V, the Sexy Ryu skin in Street Fighter V, like I think they would have been crazy.